Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Stories of Yanko back here with another video. And your boy is finally over the sickness. Everybody's been sick, but also it's the holidays, New Year's, Christmas just passed. And I hope everybody enjoyed time with their family or still enjoying time with their family. And for those who couldn't be here, say a prayer for them. Everybody stay blessed up. Everybody stay healthy. Everybody stay loving one another. And, we back here with the video. So let's get into it, all right? There's been an ongoing sentiment around Kevin Durant, and I don't tend to talk about Kevin Durant much on my channel because it's like he's in a weird spot for me. He's no longer in Brooklyn, so it's like talking about him means I have to talk about the Phoenix Suns, and I don't like talking about teams who are still injured or hobbled and stuff like that because it's hard to get a clear perspective about what this team is. People are saying they're the Brooklyn Nets 2.0. No, the Brooklyn Nets in 2021 were way more dominant, and they're way better even if the Suns were fully healthy. Those were just juggernauts. But listen, Kevin Durant has been lambasted by the media, by the NBA fandom for, just being a normal guy at times, going back and forth with fans. And you don't want athletes to feel like they're above the fans, but it's like when Kevin Durant does it, he's perceived as sensitive, and certain narratives get propagated about Kevin Durant. They say, oh, he hasn't led, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that, and the question always seems to come up towards the end: does Kevin Durant have anything left to prove? From my perspective, from my opinion, no, he doesn't have anything left to prove, because Kevin Durant wasn't hailed as the greatest small forward of all time. Kevin Durant is not hailed as the GOAT. So what is Kevin Durant chasing at this point? Kevin Durant never called himself the greatest leader of all time. Kevin Durant has, talked about himself being one of the greatest scorers. Dude, he's still climbing the charts. He just passed Carmelo Anthony, or he's about to, right? And, that's something that he's proven, correct? But due to the fact that most people that consume the NBA, they're casuals. Most people don't know that they're casuals. Most people that don't know that they're media taught. Every perspective that they get about a player has been spoon-fed to them by Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Nick Wright, Kendrick Perkins, all of these other guys. They have not formed an opinion about a single current player now just by watching them. It takes years to form an opinion about a certain player. That's the reason why I go hard on Damian Lillard, because I have watched Damian Lillard for years. That's why you see a lot of these guys who are either LeBron haters or bronzesexuals have a certain opinion about LeBron James because they watched him from high school up until year 21. It takes a long time to form an opinion about a certain player. And I'm talking about the older guys. I'm not talking about these guys that just started watching basketball, in 2016. I'm talking about guys that have been watching basketball since Jordan was playing. But it takes time. It takes knowledge. It takes patience to form an opinion about a certain player. So when we look at Kevin Durant's career, right, they say he never led a team to the finals. 2012 did happen. He led that team to the finals. He was the best player on that team. Plain and simple. But people don't count it. I don't know why. People don't count it. Also, let's talk about current Kevin Durant. I don't see how we have gotten to the point where basketball discourse is completely negligent. They'll talk about how LeBron James in year 21 and all this other shit. Kevin Durant came back from an Achilles rupture, and he's been great ever since. Sure, he's lost a step. He's lost a step and a half, but he's been very efficient. He's still been productive for all the circumstances that he has had to go through. And people they forget about all that shit. They don't care about what he did in the Bucks series dolo. They don't care about what he did in the Olympics. All that they see is that, Kevin Durant doesn't live up to our expectations of what he is supposed to be. He never said that he was the GOAT. He never said that he was the greatest of all time. He never said that he was this or that. Kevin Durant literally just wants to hoop. But Kevin Durant, we can say he's not a leader. Cool, fine. But he was good enough to lead that Golden State Warriors team to 2 championships. But if you want to accept the fact that Kevin Durant joined a stacked team, that stacked team lost the year before. They crawled to him. They needed him to beat the Cavs again. They needed him. You can't say that, oh, you know, LeBron James, he was playing a super team and all this other stuff, and it was just too much to overcome, right? But then say, you know, Kevin Durant's rings don't count as if he had no impact on that team. He made them a super team, right? And listen, I'm not keeping for Kevin Durant. I'm just going based on that logic. It seems like super team rings only count when it's LeBron James. People are, oh, but the Miami Heat was this and all that. No. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron were all in their primes when they teamed up. They knew that the team was supposed to go far. It's not like it was just some experimental thing that nobody knew that could possibly work, because people saw what the Boston Celtics did not too long before. They knew if you put three players that are relatively still in their prime together, they can make it to the NBA Finals. And nobody was really doing that in the NBA, so pretty much they were stacking the talent. So LeBron James saw what the Celtics did. They won a chip. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to do that in Miami. And then they won a chip. But the first year, they flamed out. But it's like, but they got 2 chips out of it. Kevin Durant got 2 chips out of the Warriors. But a lot of people have an issue with it because he went through LeBron James to get those chips. It's not because Kevin Durant's rings don't count. It's because who he took rings from in the process of getting his rings as to why they hate him. Just keeping it real. But with Kevin Durant, I've never seen a player come back from injury like that and still be this great. And it's like, does Kevin Durant have anything left to prove? No. The answer is no. What does he have left to prove? Oh, that he can lead a team. Not everybody's a leader. If you guys have been saying all this time that Kevin Durant is not a leader, he's not this and he's not that, right? What people are moving the goalposts, right? It's the same thing with Kyrie Irving. People say, oh, well, he has to prove he can win without LeBron. The fuck? Like, how many, like, dude, listen. He is the only all-star, well, perennial, not even perennial. He's the only all-star caliber star player at the point guard position to win a ring outside of Steph Curry in his generation. Nobody else has fucking done it outside of him and Steph Curry. So who is he proving himself to? He's already ahead of the Russell Westbrooks, the CP3s, the James Hardens, the Damian Lillards, the Kemba Walkers. He's already ahead of them. You feel me? So it's like, that's why I'm saying, like, people put their expectations and move the goalpost to a certain point and say, you have to meet this expectation. And that's the thing with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is never, even if he wins in Phoenix, people are going to say it's just another super team. Kevin Durant is old as shit now. like, dude, he's a supplementary, like, he's a second option. He's not a first option anymore, right? So it doesn't mean anything if they win a championship for Phoenix. It means a lot for the city, but what does it mean for his legacy? Not that much, because he didn't do it as quote unquote the man. So no, Kevin Durant has nothing left to prove because he can't prove anything else. Like, I don't know what these guys expect from him. I don't expect anything from him. I expect for him to climb, the scoring record list. That's what I expect from him. And to still be good until it's time for him to retire. But all these guys have these expectations about him. It just doesn't make sense. It's not fair to him for a person who is aging with the injury history that he has had to still play this great. And people say, you know what? You still got to do this, even though not too many players in the history of the NBA have done what Kevin Durant has done. Sure, his rings don't have the same weight as others. It doesn't. I'm just keeping it real. It doesn't. But at the end of the day, if you guys want to count a fucking bubble ring, like, that's all I'll say. If you guys want to count a fucking bubble chip, Kevin Durant's rings count. Plain and simple. If you guys want to count an in-season tournament fucking championship banner, Kevin Durant, his shit counts. That's all I'm going to say. Kevin Durant, he has nothing left to prove. He only has something to prove to those who hate him. he has nothing left to prove to real NBA fans because we know his body of work. We know what he's done in the NBA. So it's like he's a solidified first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be top 5 in scoring all the time. He's the greatest like basketball Olympian ever. Like, you know, he's that. He's Captain America when they say that. Like, dude, one of the most skilled players of all time, one of the most prolific scorers. He has all of that to his name. What else does he have to prove? Oh, he has to lead this. Why? Why? Ask yourself why. But because this and all that, because Bron calls himself the GOAT. Bron calls himself the GOAT, though. MJ is the GOAT. All these other players are hailed as top 5 players. Even if Kevin Durant did that, he's not going to be a top 5 player. So it doesn't matter if he does it. It doesn't matter if he got 2 out of it. He's never going to be hailed as those players. So, no, Kevin Durant has nothing left to prove. He's done great for a person who didn't come into the league with any narrative being the chosen one or anything like that. He's done great. So, the answer is no. Peace.